How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, we're going to be covering some stuff that I think you guys might enjoy. Now, keep in mind, these are theories, speculations, and all that stuff, so do just remember that as you are listening to this video. But today, we have something that I thought was worthwhile checking out. Of course, we're doing this kind of different, more edited style for these videos for now to see what you guys think about them. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this more edited style in the comment section down below. I know the last video was a little bit of a 50-50. Some people really enjoyed it. Some people said they really just wanted the face cam stuff, so I just wanted to check with you guys real quick. So let's talk about what we're doing today, guys. Well, today we're going to be talking about, you know, that image you guys may remember that we saw from Game Freak showing basically a tree, a Christmas tree with two Mews on it and a bunch of other Pokemon, and of course the map of the world in the background showing specifically North America and South America. Now, somebody actually did some theorizing and digging here and discovered something that I thought would be worthwhile to cover and talk to you guys about. So I thought we'd just get into it, talk about it, see what we have to see here, and yeah, just break it down in simple terms. So let's start with the actual thing, that information that I got first. It was sent to me in the terms of, or rather from the person, Royal Gardenias here on Twitter, but the actual original theory, though, is from Shining Star 522, which has actually her own video on this subject, so I would recommend checking out her video, because it kind of breaks down this in a probably better manner, you know, what the whole theory is about, or what the original theory is about. So if you want to get a general, better idea of what it's all about, check that out. Now, this person right here, I'm not sure who exactly sent me their tweet, but their tweet actually connects back to another thing that was sent to me by another viewer who wants their name to be secret. But basically, it takes me over here to the other page here, and we're going to kind of take a look at what that has to say. It's an expanded theory of what Shining Star 5022 has to say, and of course, you know, her opinions. Now, I'll have another part later in this where I'll kind of give my thoughts on what Shining Star said and how I agree, in, you know, with a lot of things she mentioned there. But yeah, let's take a look at what this image here has to say and all that stuff. So, of course, we got the image here, which I'll, you know, talk about in a second, but let's see what the actual theory here says first. So, it basically points out that I got this theory from hashtag ShinyStar5022 on Twitter and decided to add more to it so that everyone can understand what Game Freak is hinting at. You might remember back in 2015, before Sun and Moon was revealed, that Game Freak hinted to us a bouquet of flowers with the globe showing Southeast Asia and Australia. This was where all the Pokemon Plus and Minus rumors started speculating by those looking at that what's on the globe. It wasn't until during 2016 that it was revealed that the Gen 7 region, which is Alola based around Hawaii, and that wasn't even shown on the globe. Well, was, but only on a opposite side of the globe. In 2018, not too long ago, Game Freak were teasing us with the same hints. Only this time, the bouquet was replaced with a Mew-themed Christmas tree, and the globe is showing us the North and South Americas. Many are speculating yet again that it is Southeast Asia, the Caribbean, China, South America, etc. But once again, they are repeating the same traps as what we'd seen 3 years prior. The hint here is that it's not what you see in the globe, but you can't see, namely what is on the opposite side. Ooh, that is actually interesting. What's on the opposite side of what we can see in sunlight, Europe and Africa. Another hint is with the objects that Game Freak has placed with the globe apart from the Pokemon plushies. These are simply based on the theme of the next region. Like with the hints for Gen 7, it showed tropical flowers that hinted to a hot, sunny, and tropical region, Alola, Hawaii. Gen 8 hints shows a Christmas tree, a pine tree that's hinting to a cold, wet, and snowy region. Yes, Spain has pine trees, but its climate is not cold. This makes me think that this next region could be based in the UK, for the obvious reasons of there being so many rumors and hints to back it up. Now, before Gen 8 was announced, or Gen 5, sorry, Gen 5 was announced, the creator of Pokemon visited London for a special event. Whilst there, he was taking photos of the Tower of London, or I guess, you know, I'm not sure if that's an actual place, or, yeah, I guess it is, Tower Bridge, Westminster, Houses of Parliament with Big Ben, the Thames, and the London Eye. This could possibly be at the same time when they were beginning research and studies for Generation 6, and if so, then this UK region could fit in well to the Kalos story. For one, the two generations are the first to a new console, Gen 6 with the 3DS and Gen 8 with the Switch. 2, Kalos has a special friendship to a tropical region, the tropical region of Hoenn, Gen 3 remake of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So if Gen 8 is the UK UK, being normally a cold region, would have the special friendship to another cold region with a possible Gen 4 remake in Sinnoh. Hokkaido is another, well, I mean, it says country here, but I guess he means part, another area, apart from Scotland, that is famed for making whiskey. 3. The Pokemon Sun and Moon episode with a TV star detective had London at the end of that episode, and Rotom hinted it being a faraway region. There's also the clapperboards that were used in each shot during the episode, which might also hint to how many episodes the Sun and Moon anime will have. And if true, then this could be more than just a cameo to another worldwide based location, and instead by a foreshadow for what's to come. The London fog could also be used as a veil to silhouette the next region. 4. There is hiring of people in the UK to the Pokemon Company International base in London. All these are just speculations left for you to decide. Even if this is proven false, it will still fun to speculate of what 2019 will hold. The region might be Greenland with Iceland, who knows, Norway or Denmark for all I know, but with all the rumors surrounding the UK, you cannot stop but to wonder that there might be more to this than what it is. So, okay, now let me start giving my opinions on this one. So first things first, the last part there, the Pokemon Company International base in London, that's a bit incorrect actually. Just to point this out to this individual, if they ever see this video. Actually, that's where they hire all their people always from. They have their offices in the UK, and that's where they hire translators to do work for translating to Spanish, Japanese, all that stuff. They do it always from there. Basically, it's like a thing where it's like you got an office in like I guess in Germany and then one in the UK, and it's a little bit about vice versa. And of course, you got an American one which does the American translate, just general English translations. But the one in the UK though, it's been around for a while. It's nothing new that they are hiring from there people who do translations. They kind of always done that to translate the games into, you know, generally European languages, you know, Spanish, French, etc. So in terms of that stuff, I don't know if that really proves anything. Just because they, you know, do that translation in the UK, it really doesn't matter much. Now, as for some other parts here, the whole idea that, like, the maps and whatnot are showing different places, and just because the map shows this area, but it's not in that place, and whatever it may be, I don't know if that really makes any sense, because the way, you know, the way it's portrayed here, it seems a little bit different. Either way, now what I'm talking about is actually the flowers and, you know, the general tree and stuff. Now, of course, as we know, the flowers were shown before we even knew that Alola existed, right? Now, of course, the flowers were just, you know, different flowers. It was like, you know, just basically sunflowers and all and whatnot, and I think some red ones on the side. Now, of course, you know, it could be hard from this to just even, like, possibly guess that, oh, this is gonna be, you know, the next thing, right? This is where we're going to the next region. That's really hard to guess. It's actually, I think, kind of impossible to guess, honestly, from that, but at least it was a hint. And that the same thing we've got going on here with, you know, Generation 8 here, might be that we're getting a hint from this Christmas tree. Now, again, remember, the Christmas tree was really weird. You had the Plusle and Minun in the corner on the little table. You had the tree itself, which, by the way, this individual doesn't even mention the Plusle and Minun, right? So that's a little bit strange to me. And of course, we got the map showing North and South America. Again, could be that the map doesn't actually mean anything, or the map is just hinting at the movie more than anything. But of course, the tree could actually be hinting at what we're getting next. And actually, what they mention here, and this is the part that I love the most, is this connection that, you know, when you look at, like, Gen 7, and then you look at, like, you know, like, when you look at these generations, and you kind of compare them, there's kind of a connection, right? When you had Gen 6, and then you had the remakes, ORAS, and then you had, you know, now you're gonna have Gen 8, and you're gonna have the remakes for Generation 4 coming after Gen 8, most likely, based on what we, you know, based on just overall logic, right? The next generation of games should also have a follow-up for remakes with the Generation 4 games. Sure, you know, if they're showing this tree, maybe they're pointing towards a colder region, which I think would make sense, like the individual mentioned, you know, this whole connection where Generation 4 was a cold region, so this generation is also going to be a cold region. Or perhaps that doesn't mean anything. Perhaps this tree is literally just a Christmas tree. But you gotta remember, Game Freak have been getting weirder and weirder, and they for a long time have been hinting with this sort of stuff. And even now, they've opened up a YouTube channel, they've got a channel where they post videos and stuff. They're getting more and more into this whole, like, internet age, where they're using the internet to their fullest advantage. And you gotta remember, us making these videos and us talking about these things is good for them. This is giving them more hype and already giving them a lot of, like, you know, steam going into the next year, and a lot of people really excited without even knowing anything about this game, in all honesty, right? We just know it's coming. We know it's going to have improved visuals, better graphics, and, you know, just all that stuff, right? Or improved visuals is what we know. We know it's going to have a new Pokemon. We know it's going to be a brand new region. We know it's going to be like, you know, Gen 6, 7, you know, kind of handheld style classic Pokemon game that we're used to, not the throwing Pokeballs like in Let's Go. You know, we know all these things already, but we don't actually know what the region's going to look like, where it's going to be based, and all this stuff. Right now, it's all theories, speculations. It's all just in our heads. So I do like, you know, this theory here from this individual. Now, this was posted by Champion Cynthia here, I guess, on the actual Bulba Garden page. Now let's take a look at this image right here and see what they, you know, they're trying to point out. So the first one here shows, you know, it says 2015 Gen 7. You got the image of the Pikachu and another Pikachu right there, two of them actually, and the flowers, and they're standing there. And of course, you got hot sun, tropical, makes sense. But of course, if you look at the map right there, it isn't showing the part of the world where, you know, Hawaii would be. It's rather showing, I guess, what part is it even showing, though? Is it, like, showing Kalos, I guess, or what? It makes a little sense. I feel like they're pointing out here that it's showing, like, Kalos or whatever, which it might be, it might not. I have no clue. Might be Russia. I have no bloody clue, I'm gonna be honest. But, either way, my point is that, you know, that made sense back then, right? We saw that image, and then, hey, boom, guess what? The flowers, maybe they hinted at, you know, Alola, because look at all those flowers. I thought it was only some flowers. There's actually more flowers in there. Maybe there's even a flower there that's like native to Hawaii that could have actually hinted at it specifically. But then you look at the actual tree down there as well, you know, you've got the map showing South and North America, but those are not, like, you know, perhaps where it's going to be based. Maybe it's going to be some other part of the world, like the UK, which is on the other side, you know, of the world there. Or, you know, maybe even Southeast Asia, or, you know, I don't know. But it's going to be most likely somewhere colder, and Spain could even be the possible region. I know this individual said, you know, in their theory that, you know, maybe it's not going to be Spain because Spain doesn't have a cold areas. Spain does have cold areas. If you go into the northern parts of Spain, you do have colder areas, so it's very, very possible. Now, of course, this tree as well could be hinting at an actual real-life tree, which I think they mentioned here in their little post. They specifically mentioned that the tree could be an actual real one, you know, like a real life, you know, a real existing tree that's in these parts of the world, which could be possible. But then again, it could also just be from, you know, South America. I've gotten a few theories sent to me by other viewers saying that, you know, there are colder parts in South America. There are parts around Chile and Argentina, mountains that are really, really cold. There are areas that are colder in that part of the world. Not everything is super warm there. So it's very possible that could be still the place we're going to. Who knows? It's very hard to tell. But do note, guys, this is Game Freak we're talking about, and they're getting way more sketchy about the way they hint these things. Now, as I mentioned in the start of this video, Shining Star was the original person who created this original theory and kind of broke it all down. She also mentioned my old video where I covered the UK, which you guys can check out that video as well. I covered that the UK region is highly possible based on some actual literal hints towards it. You know, for example, the map in the game, you know, Let's Go Peach, Let's Go Eevee, there's a map that looks just like the UK. In the Sun and Moon anime, they literally had the UK in one of the episodes, and the character said it's a faraway region. There's also a character in the game that says that exact same sentence in Let's Go Peach, Let's Go Eevee that says that there was a professor from a faraway region that helped them out. And of course, with the map now, you know, the map doesn't show, you know, the UK, but it shows South America, you know, North America. So, you know, South America, North America. So maybe perhaps, you know, that could be hinting towards the region being, you know, a faraway region on literally the other side of the world. And of course, you know, there's a bunch of other stuff here. Now, another thing that was actually mentioned by Shining Star was the fact that Masuda did have the capybara, guys. You all remember that, like that animal, the capybara. He did have that animal there as well, you know, in one of those images, which could be hinting at what the next starter Pokemon might be. Maybe the grass starter Pokemon, what animal will be based on, but that doesn't mean that that's where they're going to be basing the region on. She also mentions that she asked Paul Ryan's wife, she asked her if, you know, if it's something crazy about these Mew plushies on this tree here, if that has any connection. Turns out that no, you know, they always do these Mew plushies for Christmas, so it's nothing surprising. And also the tree she mentions could be for the UK because the UK does have colder areas with these sort of trees, which does make sense. But there are of course also colder areas in North America, South America, you know, literally all over the place in the world. There are colder areas, especially even in Spain. There is colder areas in the northern parts, and in the southern parts of I think. you know, not South America, you'd have colder parts as well. But I do agree with what Shining Star says, though. It seems like a lot of it's hinting towards, you know, the UK region being a possibility here. So, I don't know, but I'd love to know your thoughts, guys. And also, do check out Shining Star's video. I'll link it down below so you guys can check it out, because it breaks this down in a way quicker manner and kind of goes through her own theory fully. Now, I was looking at, like, her theory and also an expanded version of it for this video, so do keep that in mind. Either way, that's that part. Let's go over to something else, shall we? And I quickly just want to add in here that also back in March, there was a post by Junichi Masuda as well, mentioned the capybara here as well, and I'll put the image on the screen. Just want to quickly insert this right here. You may think that it's nothing. Sure, it could be nothing, but if it ends up with getting a region and it's going to be slightly colder and it's going to have more of a colder theme and not the tropical theme, then hey, maybe they you know, now we know that this is one of the ways they hint at stuff, which would be amazing. I actually would love it if this was a way of them, you know, hinting for stuff, because it's actually a lot of fun. It adds a lot of dynamic to actually waiting for these games. It just gives us something to talk about and do while we wait for these games to come our way. So, I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below, though, guys. What do you think about this? What are your thoughts? But yeah, that is it for the theory part of this video. Now let's talk about some of the news-related stuff, which I want to cover in this video so I don't have to cover it in a separate video and simply make 2 videos for this. But instead, let's do this all in one. So what's the next thing we're talking about? Well, the next thing is actually some new Discovery merch, or rather new Discovery stuff coming from Bandai. Now, this is something that, of course, I got from PokeShopper, so big thank you to PokeShopper for this information. And he also has a full video, kind of talking about this Discovery merchandise by Bandai, and you can kind of check that out, and it gives you a little bit of a better idea of what it's all about. I'll also link this video down below so you guys can check it out there. But what are we basically looking at here? Well, basically, we have a image here showing, you know, the new Discovery merchandise, and we have a spot here which says Pokemon A, and that's basically like a spot for a brand new Pokemon to be included. But basically, the way he describes it here in, you know, the info on Discord that I've gotten from him is that it says 14, but a 15th is confirmed to appear in this set. So these Discovery merchandise, they're gonna have new Pokemon included in them. Now, the question is, what could these be? Well, mystery placement could be similar to Zeraora, and most likely as seen in movie 21. This was the 2 mystery blocks from earlier this year for the movie 21 promotion. Now, he explains in his video this way better and more more in a better way, you know, and just more in depth, so to say, in his video. You can check that, guys, out. I'll link it down below. But he describes it there and he explains what it's all about. So what he's talking about here is basically that this merchandise here, the Discovery merchandise, was a same kind of style of merchandise that they've done before. And for movie 21, the 21st Pokemon movie, which was the one that came out this year, The Power of Us, or also the movie known as Everyone's Story, that movie specifically, okay, that specific movie actually included, you know, Zeraora in it, and also had Zeraora in this Discovery merchandise. Now, what's being somewhat assumed here is that potentially the next new Pokemon that's going to be in the Pokemon, you know, movie and whatnot, or the next Pokemon movie, movie 22, could be actually the Pokemon that's, you know, hidden here. Now, he does mention, though, and I want to also stress this, that this is unlikely because Bandai never really have juicy information. He explains this even better in his video. Once again, I'll make sure to point that out. He explains it way better because Bandai never really has that much information that's like really juicy or really good or anything about really good upcoming new stuff, but there is some potential value here, so it's just something to keep in mind and also remember, because it could potentially reveal stuff in the future. You never know. Stuff can come out of anywhere, but he does also mention, though, that, you know, you should more expect stuff from Takara Tomy, which are, you know, the guys who produce most of the Pokemon merchandise and all that stuff, and of course, you know, some other people that within that realm. You should trust those way more, or assume more from them than you should assume from Bandai here, because the Bandai ones just are unlikely to provide the same level, the same likeliness to provide, you know, anything of value here. So just keep that in mind. But again, what are we trying to point out here? Well, basically, potentially here, this merchandise here could be hinting at another new Pokemon that's coming our way, because there is a 15th one that is supposed to be there, but a 15th one is confirmed to appear in this set, but it says 14 there on the list. So something is strangely going on here, and the last time they did a mystery block from, you know, rather this year, it was from movie 21 promotion, which was Zeraora. So this one could also just be Mewtwo. It's most likely not Meltan, because Meltan's already on that list, so it's got to be something else, but we do not know what it potentially could be yet. And of course, we know that the Sun and Moon promotion is going to run all the way into 2019 and end off in 2019, as they're shifting their promotion over to the next generation of games once they get announced and all that stuff. So we know the promotion is going to be, you know, include stuff from most likely Gen 8 as well. But again, it's all over the place right now. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on, but I want to just kind of, you know, tell you guys about this because I thought it was interesting, and rather do it this way than make a brand new video and, you know, just talk, for, you know, again in another video about this. I'd rather just cover it in a single video. If there are any updates or any changes, I will make another video and tell you all guys about it. But for now, it does seem like this merchandise could be hinting at something, but who knows. Keep in mind also, as you mentioned, Bandai are not as likely to show something juicy and really interesting versus what we might get from some other companies. So do keep that in mind and do remember that, ladies and gentlemen. But either way, that's going to be the end of this video. If you did enjoy, then drop a like down below, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Also, do make sure to subscribe, as it would be really appreciated, guys. Either way, have yourselves a good one, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.